Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cara Nui, and on this channel I produce videos about my life in Berlin. I'm currently visiting my family, so I'm filming from my childhood bedroom, so I apologize for the poor light quality. Today's video is all about Berlin versus the rest of Germany. I've been living in Berlin for over a year now, and I noticed a few, or actually quite a lot, things that are different in Berlin compared to all the other cities in Germany. If you're curious about those, keep watching! Number 1. Fashion. Growing up, I always kind of held back on wearing really extravagant things because most of the time you will be in the center of attention. Although I have to say sometimes I like that, I still want to choose when. Plus, you obviously don't want to be made fun of because of what you're wearing. In Berlin, you don't have to worry about that at all. Fashion goes from people going out in joggers or their pajamas to very chic outfits, but also, and that's what you see most, urban street style. Lots of vintage clothing, year 2K stuff, 90s outfits, 70s outfits, everything. It's very urban and cool and hip, and I love it so much. You can literally sit in a cafe, obviously not at the moment, but when Corona is not taking over the world, you can sit in a cafe and just watch the people passing by, and you'll get so much inspiration in only 5 minutes. People have the coolest style ever, and my personal style developed so much while living in Berlin because I wasn't afraid to wear whatever I wanted. Plus, whenever I made a poor outfit choice, nobody would say anything because they might even like it or just think like, whatever. So, if you want to try an outfit that feels a bit more out there, if you're ever in Berlin, that might be the perfect time period to try everything you ever wanted to try. Number 2. Language. In Berlin, you will hear as many other languages as you hear German. I hear Spanish, Italian, Turkish, Russian, English obviously. You hear so many languages. My neighbor is watching. Plus, and that might be the most interesting thing about everybody that wants to travel here and doesn't speak German, you don't need to know any German. If you know English, you will be fine. In my opinion, you can even move to Berlin and live here without ever learning German. In so many of my favorite cafes, they don't even speak German. They have so many international people working there and they don't speak German either, so they will just communicate in English because that's just part of the Berlin vibe, I guess. I tried aerial yoga in Berlin and found out that the instructions were given in English. And I heard that it's the same in many clubs in Berlin, whether it's sports or anything else. I also think that many Germans living in Berlin are actually keen to speak English, so they will be fine talking to you in English. And I don't know many Germans, except for maybe older people, who will think that it's disrespectful if you don't know any German, because in a few other countries it's considered disrespectful if you're not at least learning how to order something, how to say thank you and hello. And of course it's nice if you know that, and maybe you should do that for other parts of Germany, but in Berlin you'll be fine. An explanation for that might be the very international vibe you have in Berlin. People from all over the world are living in Berlin, and you notice that. Whenever I come back to Berlin after, for example, staying with my family for a while, it feels like I'm at an international airport or something like that. It doesn't quite give me the German vibe, which, to be honest, is one of the reasons I enjoy living in Berlin. Most people are really open-minded and have a very free and inspirational lifestyle. In my opinion, that's also mirrored in the fashion style. If you're part of the LGBTQIA+ community, Berlin is also a really great place to live at. You will see couples, gay couples, holding hands in public all the time, kissing and that kind of stuff. And it always makes me so happy to see that, because I don't see that as much in other cities, which is kind of sad because you see heterosexual couples holding hands all the time and it's completely normal. But for LGBTQIA+ people, it's still a bit difficult in many parts of Germany, although it's mostly accepted. But you might still get a look like, oh, an LGBTQIA+ couple. That's kind of a special thing to see. And I guess I have to look at them now. Which is not really them discriminating you or saying something bad to you, but in Berlin they won't even look. So if you just want to have your peaceful time, you'll be great in Berlin. People don't care. You will feel normal. And that, in my experience, is rare for LGBTQIA+ people sometimes. And because Berlin unites so many different cultures, there are obviously also so many options when it comes to food. If you're living a vegan lifestyle, Berlin is for you. I personally try to live vegan, and Berlin helps me so much with that. It's so easy to be vegan in Berlin. There are so many spots and you have a crazy amount of options. It's great and it tastes great and you don't have to limit yourself in any way. There are so many stores where you can buy vegan ingredients. There are food markets and you will have all the options. Vegan options, vegetarian options, meat options. Everything is there from every country. Living in Berlin really has broadened my taste in food. Before I lived in Berlin, I was a bit particular about what I ate and what I didn't like and what I thought wouldn't make me feel well or my tummy couldn't handle or whatever, like really spicy food. But since I live in Berlin, that changed so much. I don't know. I feel like Berlin helped me to get even more open-minded and try new things. And I'm just so happy I got that opportunity because I would never want to miss all those food options ever again. One thing I tried in Berlin for the first time is, for example, Korean food, and I eat lots of Indian food and Japanese and Chinese food, and it's great. I love it. So even if you are particular about your food, you will probably find the specific thing you personally want because there are so many options. Talking about options, Berlin, in my personal opinion, is the city of possibilities. I moved to Berlin because I wanted to be close to everything that was happening in Germany, like the fashion week or TV shows being filmed, movies being filmed. You see so many film sets just randomly on the street. It's quite cool for somebody like me that's interested in that kind of stuff. And whatever sport you want to try, whatever club you want to join, whatever language you want to learn, you have the options. Berlin has it all. Some of you might know that in Germany we have that kind of rule or law that shops are not allowed to be open on Sundays. So you can't do your groceries on Sundays. And if you forget about that, especially as a foreigner, you're a bit like, and now what am I going to do? Living in Berlin made that so much easier because you will always find a store that is open. There is always one supermarket that is open. There's always a mall that is open that has like an open Sunday, which is a thing we have all around Germany, but not that often because they obviously don't want to break that law all the time, because Sundays here in Germany are supposed to be for the family and to rest and to do other things, but not to go shopping or to work. But in Berlin it's different because Berlin is not Germany. I don't really know why, but they always find a way to have some stores open on Sundays. You just need to find out which one it is that Sunday, but you will find a store and you don't have to worry about not getting any food or anything that you need. And if nothing's open, you still have the big shops at the main station. Other options to buy things are also the various markets we have in Berlin and the Spätis, which is like a little store that has a few things. Those shops are usually open 24/7 and you can get most things there. Right here I also want to add something I love about the supermarkets in Berlin. You can always pay with card and they have the self-checkout system, which starts to be a little bit more common all over Germany, but self-checkouts are still pretty rare and I just think they are such an innovation. I haven't been to all the German cities, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just noticed that Berlin is a bit more modern in that way. On the other hand, I have to say, before the pandemic started, it wasn't very easy to pay with card in Berlin, which sounds crazy because it's such an international big city, but no, it wasn't really possible. Most of the time the reason for that is the expense. It's just not worth it for small shops to buy that card thing, I don't know what it's called, that you need for paying with card. But because of the pandemic, contactless payment became more of a thing, which makes me really happy because it's so much easier. So, after talking about shopping, I want to add one more thing that's also connected to the first thing I talked about, fashion. Berlin has the greatest thrift stores and markets where you can find vintage fashion and thrift as much as you want, which leads to outfits that are just everything I could ever want. I have to end this video now because my family wants to leave, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was a bit helpful to get to know Berlin a little bit more and find out about the differences when it comes to Berlin versus Germany. If you have anything to add or anything else you want to know about Berlin or Germany in general, just let me know in the comments down below. And without further ado, I hope to see you next Saturday. Thank you for watching. Bye!